Welcome to the first painting tutorial in this Dark Vengeance series. So I'm going to look at the Interrogator-Chaplain. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce most of the paints, just because I usually butcher those. So here's what my guy looks like all done. Basically looks similar to the GW sample ones, and here's the paints. So for the green, which is mostly just the outside of the cape, use this sort of shade wash and layers. The gold, your typical gold sort of ones here. So again, the technique I'm using for almost everything is first the shade, wash, layer, layer. Same with the black, the base, layer, layer. I did do a little bit different for the shoulder pads. I actually used instead of the black here, I used the blue glaze, and then highlighted it up to white with that. That was just to give it a bit more of a bluish color. Other than that, everything else is basically the same here. So if you go to my blog, which will be linked in the description below, there'll be an image of this, or you can just pause and check this again. So started off with the black, so just base coated everything black here, and I'm just adding on base color. So this is that dark red, some of the light gray in here, some gold. Going to be doing more of that. Base, all of this green here. This is actually a light gray, some of the red here. So I used two different reds. This is actually, I didn't show this in the other one, but this is the brighter red, but it doesn't really matter which one you use. I did that to make it look a little different. And we're getting almost done all of the base colors here. So, a little bit of gray here, reds, and then the cloak is going to be kind of a bone-ish color. And did this, his skull mask and his skull shoulder pad, and that's all the same color. And there you go on the back. Okay, now what I've done is washes here. So I've got all the dark reds there. I've got this in here. Actually, I think I've already started doing the highlights on this part, now that I see that. But I've got the Agrax Earth shade all on there. And I think I've finally figured out how to pronounce this one. Ushabti is that color there. I think tons of people have commented about how I can't pronounce that. So thank you for that. Working my way up the grays here, so you can see the leftovers of the blues. I apologize for the pictures. I don't have my regular setup currently with me. But kind of trying to keep some of the dark areas in the folds of the cloak there. And you can see sort of the blues in here as well. Again, sorry about the picture not being super crystal clear, but there's the blues there. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to work blending the highlights up in this cloak here. So we're leaving the darkest parts after that wash down there, and then just trying to glaze, sort of bring this up to that medium green, and then the highlight is really just going to be the kind of the edges and the crisp parts there, just trying to get some definition on some of so we kind of the lines I'm trying to trace out here would be the lightest color, and a little bit there, and you can see some of the gaps I didn't fill in. There you go. So this is showing the highest highlight with I think was moot green. So there's warpstone green and moot green. So the moot green is just really fine lines kind of in here, and try to blend it a little bit more than I'm showing in what I'm drawing on with this stylus. But that's the general idea of what I'm doing with the brightest highlight on that. Okay, now what I'm doing the same idea with the blacks, and looking back at the pictures, I think I might have preferred to give it a black wash after I was all done. But anyways, with the dark gray, I'm kind of painting thicker lines around the edges of everything, and with the light gray, just trying to pick out the edges. And yeah, I probably could have given that a bit more care, but like how it turned out mostly. Okay, and okay, so now this is the Ushabti, I think it is, and again, sorry, I think the neck, there we go, better picture. So I'm trying to blend it a bit. What I ended up doing is going back with Xandri Dust and blending this dark part. What happens is you put if the washes or the shades are too different from the base color, then you end up having this very dark. So what you can do is base color shade and then do the base color again just to blend those dark areas, and then do your 2 layers on top. So I ended up going back after and blending some of these areas here just with the base color. And there I'm putting the Screaming Skull just on the edges. So again, just trying to paint the highest edges with it just to give it a bit more feeling of depth. Here I am working on the smoke, and I went all the way up to pure white actually, but what I did, I didn't wash this at all, didn't give it any shade, so I painted it dark or medium gray, and then just did a light gray highlight, and then a lighter gray, and then white just on some of the edges. And I think that's either the light gray or the white. It's always hard to tell white in pictures because cameras they kind of wash it out a bit, or they expose it. You can see here, not the greatest smoothness, and that's my fault, not the model. But so leaving some of the blues in there just to give it a bit of a cooler look, and then white is going to be some of just the edges on things around here. And that's basically it. The reds did the same sort of idea. This is the corn red, I think it is. That sort of triad or shade base highlight or layer, and that's all those same reds there. So it's not actually a bright red, whereas this one here is the Wazdaka red and highlighted up. So it's kind of a dullish red, so you don't end up with the Christmas colors on everything there. And so let's walk around the model. So didn't realize till after I forgot to paint something on there, but don't tell anybody. And yeah, that's about it. I used the same off-white for this trim here, and that's the same red as the front. So tried to limit my palette. Oh, and the golds there and silvers, that's just your standard golds and silvers for everything. And yeah, painted up pretty quick. So now I got to paint up some squads for the box set. Again, sorry about these pictures, not my best work, but you get the idea. And yeah, I'll be painting up the other guys quite quickly. Let me know which units you'd like to see first. You can comment on the video, share it obviously, and like it if you do. And I'll be sure to do things faster if I get more hits. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Check out my blog. Again, be linked in the description below. And see you next time.